Being successful does not mean lack of failures, lack of challenges, lack of obstacles. It basically just means being able to keep going until, regardless of whatever it is, until just saying, I would never give up until. The only way this is possible is through faith, knowing full well you will succeed. Knowing full well I will come out on the other side clean, regardless. And why do you keep on going? In spite of all the challenges, in spite of all the obstacles, in spite of all the ups and downs. Faith. Faith. And what is faith? Faith is consistency. Faith is the ability to be disciplined, the ability to be consistent, the ability to keep improving on the work of your hands, the refusal to succumb to failed faith or beliefs that only or all of your problems will be solved by prayers and not work. Even those with the best skills, there's still no guarantee that they're going to succeed. So imagine for someone who have desired or decided not to improve on the skill, not to work on the skill, not to improve on themselves, just rely on the environment to become better for them to become better. Imagine that. Even those that have gone through all the processes, they've done everything right, it's still not guaranteed that they're going to win. But that's better than not taking an action. Why? Because imagine you are a farmer, you've done everything you could do, and then suddenly a flood comes and takes everything away, or a locust comes and eats everything, or the government policy change, or someone else takes over your government. So through no fault of your own, things are working against you. Even when you've done the right thing, even when you've gone through right processes, even when you developed yourself, you worked on yourself, everything still has gone wrong. So why? Well, at least you've given yourself a fighting chance. Now you know these things could come, so you prepare for it. And that is faith. Why? Because more importantly than what you've lost, it's what you've gained: resilience, persistence, experience. So it's not only losing. Sometimes losing can become winning. Why? Because you've gained experience. You might have heard boxers or athletes say, I'm never going to lose to that guy again. Why? Because they've learned a lot more experience that could have saved them 10-15 years. And that's why people read books from other people's experience that could save them 5-10 years of errors. Experience, discipline, consistency, determination, strength, all this comes from practice, which you would never have from folding your hands and praying or just meditating. Without action or looking up to heaven for some manners, without action, without processes. Practice, they say, makes perfect, but only the right practice could make you become perfect. You couldn't be doing practicing English and trying to become perfect in maths. No. Right practice gives right result. For instance, you can ask people what they would love to do. The first thing that comes about from their mouth is they tell you about your passion. Your passion for this, your passion for that, the passion for that. Good enough. We all love to follow our passion. Our passion drives us. Our passion keeps us awake. Our passion pushes us to go where no one has ever gone before. Our passion pushes us when every other person quits. We're willing to live our dreams, live and die for our passion. Many of us are willing to give our lives for our passion. I mean, you've seen this in religion setting and other things, or people who go mountain climbing or whatever. A lot of people give their lives for their passion. Why? Because that passion, they don't exist. Some musicians dedicate their life to their music. To become good, they have to practice every single day. Some sportsmen have to train 8 hours, 6 days a week. They give their life for their passion to become the best. But when it's all said and done, how much effort, how much commitment, how much consistency are you giving to your passion? Have you got 1 foot in there and 2 foot out? Carl Newport says in the book Too Good or So Good They Can't Ignore You. That's what it takes to win, to develop, to become the best in your field, going for your passion. It's not just choosing your passion, it's practicing to the extent that you become too good that you can't be ignored in any field. Why it's easier to do when you have a passion for that. It's like, of course, other people could do this in other fields as well, but with your passion, you have more drive towards it. Other people are programmed that they could pick something and work 200% on that thing. They become so good that they can never be ignored. But some people, they can only do that for something they're passionate about. So what are you passionate about? And apart from being passionate about the thing, Are you willing to give it 500% when others are doing 50%? How much are you willing to push? Becoming so good that you can't be good sometimes means almost giving your life for that. That's why we have some sports stars who are bet everyone goes to training every day, but only few people become the top 5, the top 2, the top 10 in the world. Why? Everyone is doing the same thing, but how come there are very few people who are the best in the world? It's not a one-day thing. It's not a 1 month thing or 1 week thing. It would consume your life for you to become so good that you can never be ignored in any field, in anything you choose. Some wise man once says, there practically is no competition anymore in this world, that we are our own competition. We are our own competition. Like when you choose something and you're willing to give it 500% every single day, I bet you would never have a competition in 5 years. You're willing to go further than anyone. It might not be the best thing, the right thing, the wrong thing, but when you choose something and you're giving it more than 500% every single day, I tell you, you would have no competition. Why? Because there's less than 5% of the people out there who are willing to do that. So we're crying for competition everywhere, but there is no competition really. We are our own competition. Our limitations are our competition. They say a life best lived is by design. It's not by an accident. It's not by an accident. You don't fall into it. You don't run into it. You don't walk into it. Once wanders into fortune. Wandering from place to place, a place of worship to place of worship, seeking miracles. It's not the way to live a designed life. A designed life, of course, there's prayer. There's prayer is that we can account for. The miracles we can account for. But first, have you done what you can account for 100%? Most of us will join the easy group. Why? Because the expectation is low, where they don't care if you win or lose. The problem is with the easy crowd is everyone is welcome. There's nothing special about the easy crowd. You can't grow in an easy crowd. Of course, you will never be challenged. So if you want to become the best in life, go where expectations are high, where you're being challenged, a place where you can create a mental muscle. A place where the person you become matters more than what you're actually getting at the minute. Go to a place where the challenge makes you grow year by year, day by day, hour by hour, having the opportunity to choose just an investment, a single investment where you can put your money, 100K that grows just 1% a year, or an investment that grows minus 1% a year. This is talking about 1% to minus 1%. Imagine having that option. How many of you would not put your investment where it grows minus 1% every year? Now just consider that. That's the basic answer, or basic example. Now you see, every little thing matters. If you want to become the best, if you want to become so good you can't be ignored, everything matters. You stop your personal growth, you stop developing personally. It's okay to follow your passion. I love that. I love passion. 1, follow your passion. But 2, get really good at that. Don't just, your passion could be anything, but how good are you willing to get at the passion? You give your life for it. 3, if it requires 100% effort, are you willing to give 200%? Up to the point where that passion becomes you, and people are attracted to you because of the passion, the act. Many people will see or admire. We're not attracted to them because of who they are. It's because of what they've become, and what they've become is what they do. So when people seek that passion, that interest, then they find you, and then your earning grows, your income grows. Why? Because people respect your passion, your discipline, your determination. No one wants to live a life of mediocre. No one. We all want to become the best we can in our field. But the problem is, there's very few of us who are willing to give it all, who are willing to believe that our destiny is in our hand. We are in control. We can become what we want. There's very few of us, limited in fact. And how do you become so good that you can't be ignored? If you choose to follow your passion, write it down, make a note, the timetable of how much you are willing to give in every single day. And I promise you, if you keep doing this, you will become so good you can't be ignored.